Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day today. So in today's video we are going to be testing out bear with me whilst I try and say this, the Maxineczka palette. If I'm saying that wrong, I really do apologise. I can't say it, I'm so sorry. But yeah, basically this is the palette right here. Looks gorgeous. These are the shades there. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this intro nice and short and sweet, but if you want to see how I get on with this palette, my first impressions, my opinions and my overall review on the palette, then just keep watching and I shall see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows and primed my lids for eyeshadow because, like I said, in today's video we are going to be testing out the Maxineczka. I'm sure that's how you say it. If I'm pronouncing this wrong, I am so sorry. But it's the Maxineczka Beauty Legacy palette, travel friendly makeup palette by Revolution, and it contains, this is what it says on the back, it contains 9 highly pigmented eyeshadows, contour, blush and a highlight. So basically it's a travel friendly easy palette, like a go-to palette to travel with. And I actually just wanted to quickly mention, someone in my comments of my Revolution haul slash what's in the mystery bag actually commented on that video and told me a little bit about this palette. So I'm actually just going to read what she put because it was actually really helpful. Like, if I ever say anything wrong in a video before and you know for a fact like that's wrong, please just tell me, like call me out on it like this person did. It's really helpful because now I have more information on it and yeah, I'm not offended. It was really useful. So they basically said that, oh, I'm gonna say, I know I'm saying this wrong and I feel so bad. Maxineczka, oh, I'm so sorry, is a Polish YouTuber and her palette was the first Revolution cardboard palette, which, such a good idea by the way. I don't see why it needs to be like a plastic palette, especially for, like, you know, like a cheaper palette. You're not buying it to feel like luxurious or anything like that. And to be honest, I like the feel of this palette anyway. So the fact that the person decided to do a cardboard palette, I love that. Like, absolutely love that. Such a good idea. Oh, and that's nice. She said they said you can call her Maxi for short, so I think I might have to do that, to be honest. And then she just told me a little bit about the shades in the palette in there, but I don't want to read too much into that right now because I want to put my own views out on it, if you know what I mean. But they gave me a little bit of background on the palette and I'm guessing this is when they've used the palette, what they think. So yeah, this was genuinely like really helpful. So thank you so much for like letting me know. Their name was Monica, and I'm not even going to try and say the last name because I'm going to butcher it and I already feel bad. So yeah, Monica commented on that video, so genuinely thank you so much for the information that you gave me. It really was helpful. Yeah, and I can't wait to use this palette for myself. Now, you guys already know I have technically used this palette before because I did use the blush Love's Hue, but yeah, if you've seen that video you know how I felt on the blush, but I am going to give it another go today. Obviously the only shade that I have used is the blush, but this is what the palette looks like. It genuinely looks stunning, genuinely looks like a really nice everyday palette. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, let's just get on into actually using the palette. Okay, so as you can see I already went off and used it on one eye, but the first shade we're using is the shade Petal. Just a really pretty like burgundy pink coloured shade, and it applied beautifully, to be honest. Not really any problems. It wasn't super pigmented, but it is a cheaper palette, you have to remember that. But for a Revolution palette, it's definitely on the level of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just as good as other Revolution eyeshadows. So I personally really like Revolution eyeshadows. I feel like they perform beautifully. They do take a little bit more building up, some more than others, but to be honest, I don't mind because for the price point, they're absolutely spot on. Okay, and I'm quite happy with that. So hopefully you could see, I was turned to the side a little bit, so I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see. If it is pants, and I do apologise about that. But yeah, it went on really nicely. It goes on kind of like, not dull, but not super, super pigmented at first, but then literally the second you go in with a second layer, the pigment's there. Like, yeah, I genuinely don't have a bad word to say about that. I'm now just going to blend it out with the shade, I don't know whether to use Brick or Ash. I feel like I always go for warm toned shades, so we're going to use Ash. So we're going to blend out Petal with Ash. I just used the shade Ash, and the two shades blended into each other beautifully. I don't really have a bad word to say. Don't necessarily have a good word to say. Like, you have to remember this is a cheaper palette. Sometimes you do have to work a little bit harder with them, but to be honest, I didn't have to work like hard. Like, it's not like a hard palette to use. I genuinely think these eyeshadows work beautifully. They blend into each other quite easily. They're not very hard to work with. I feel like what's thrown me off is because it is more of a cool tone shade, and I'm just not used to cool tone shades on my eyes. I definitely more gravitate towards warm tone shades, but yeah, the palette is working really, really nicely so far. Oh, by the way, one thing I have noticed, I'm getting no fallout, by the way, so I could have definitely done this with my base down, so that's a good thing. Okay, and then now just for a shimmer, so I think I'm going to go in with the shade Crystal. Just looks like a super pretty pink glittery shade. I'm just going to put that at the front, in a part of my lid, and also in towards the centre of my lid. I'm just going to wet the shadow on my brush a little bit, because as you can see, it's not really like, it's not really showing up. It's pretty and it's nice and glittery, but it looks more like a glitter you put over top of an eyeshadow, not like just a standout glitter shade by itself. I probably should have done a cut crease so it had something to like stick to. I feel like that helped, but I still don't feel like I'm getting it as intense as I'd like it personally. I'm one of them people where I like glitter to pop, so okay, I feel like that looks quite pretty. I had to put, I think that's the 4th layer I put on, maybe 3rd, I'm not actually 100% sure. But yeah, I feel like we got it to a point where it looks nice and pretty. Still not as intense as I truthfully would like it to be, but that all comes down to personal preference, to be fair, but it's just not as intense as I personally would like it to be. I like shimmer shadows to kind of stand out by themselves. By the way, I'm not going in with any extra product. This is just the brush I use to apply Petal, by the way. I just want to kind of blend just a little bit of the shimmer and the Petal shade together, basically. Okay, and that is basically the finished eyes. So I'm really not mad at the eyeshadows in this palette, to be honest. So I definitely prefer the mattes to the shimmers, but even though I prefer the mattes, that shimmer still did pretty good. I just had to like build it up a lot more than I would usually, if that makes any kind of sense. I like to just be able to chuck a shade on and just kind of go, do you know what I mean? I don't like to have to like keep building. But to be fair, it looks beautiful. Like, I really, really do like the shimmer shade. I feel like it really, it just looks so like pretty and cute. The mattes I'm really happy with. I only had to like build it up the once, which I really don't mind, because to be fair, genuinely, I usually go in with like more pigmented shadows, but I use a lot less of it, and I basically go in, get the initial shape that I want, and then I add more and add more and add more and get it as intense as I want anyway. So that, truthfully, it doesn't bother me. I didn't use a lot of the shade, like it would still take me a long time to get through an eyeshadow. But yeah, I feel like the shades performed lovely. Is it my favourite set of eyeshadows? No, probably not. Will I still use it? 100%. As far as the eyeshadows go, I don't really have a bad word to say. So now I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my wings a little bit, as I always do, and I'm just going to get my base makeup done, and then when it comes to contour, blush and highlight, we shall come back to this palette. So I shall see you guys in a quick sec. Okay, so I'm back. I did the rest of my makeup, also did a little bit of why can't I speak today? My under eyes, I did my under eyes with the same shades I used on the top. So eyes are done. I was just looking in the palette for like a brow bone highlight and that, but I'm not sure if there really is one. I'm going to test out the highlighter first and then we'll see if we're going to do brow bone highlight and then a corner highlight. But anyway, massive tangent. Now we're ready to do the contour, blush and highlight. So I'm going to go in with the shade Grand Tan. It looks like a pretty cool toned contour. Is it a contour or is it a bronzer actually? It does say contour, and I don't really contour anymore, I'm going to be honest. I hardly ever contour. I usually just bronze and then do a little bit of reverse contour underneath my bronzer. So we shall see how cool tone this is. But we're going to go in with the shade Grand Tan, which is that bronzer shade there, and I'm actually going to go ahead and take this big fat fan brush, because when I used the blusher in I don't know what video it was actually. I think it was my oh my god, what is wrong with me? I think it was my full face of first impressions. The blusher was so pigmented, so I'm going to take a fan brush and hopefully it will distribute the contour shade a little bit easier. So here goes nothing, wish me luck. If this is pigmented, I will cry because I don't contour ever. So here goes. So I'm just going to tap in really lightly. Okay, maybe a little bit harder than that. We actually need a bit of product. Oh, I'm scared. Okay, yeah, that is a pretty cool toned contour, to be honest. And I definitely much prefer a bronzer over a contour. Nowadays, I don't know what it is. I just think contouring is such a faff. Like, you have to be so like precise with it, otherwise it can just look daft. And I feel like contours are always so muddy on me because I'm like, I'm definitely quite pale, as you can clearly see. So contouring is not always the best thing for me to do. That was quite easy though. I feel like this brush definitely made it easier. It's not going patchy anywhere and it's not applying too much product all in one area either. I don't feel like this looks muddy. For a contour, this is quite nice. I'm definitely going to do a little bit of reverse contour and then just clean up that underneath. So I'm just going to quickly go ahead and do the rest of my face. Okay, so I'm just quickly wanted to jump in. I don't know whether it's this brush, because this obviously helps to really shade out product because there's so many I still can't speak. There's so many bristles that it really helps with blending out product. This is why I use this brush for contour, even though it can get quite messy and it is kind of hard to place the product exactly where you want. But this contour actually doesn't seem that pigmented, which I really like, because I'm able to pick up quite a lot of product on my brush. Again, it could just be this brush, so I probably should have done my forehead with another brush, because I honestly don't mind applying a lot of product to my forehead because I really like to bronze up a lot on my forehead. I just feel like it looks really nice. So I probably should have used a different brush, because although this is contour, I still like to, instead of contour, bronze the top of my forehead. So I could have contoured this quite heavily. So if it looked like very pigmented straight away, then I would have known that it was this brush that's helping to shade it out. But yeah, the contour's not too pigmented, which I really like. Now I'm a little bit worried about this bit. I'm going to try and contour my nose a little bit. I suppose now we'll see if it's pigmented or not. So I'm going to take a little bit on the end of this brush. And then I'm just going to really lightly just apply very little pressure. Yeah, it might be pigmented actually, because this brush seems to have applied a fair bit of product. By the way, I don't contour my nose because like I feel like I have to. I just wanted to do it in this video just to test out this product. Maybe I just went in a little with too much product on the other side, because that's not created a harsh line this side. Bizarre. I don't know about this contour shade. Okay, so I feel like that looks decent. I hardly ever contour my nose, so it's not going to be spot on. Again, like, I'm not a makeup artist. I just play around with makeup and find what best works for me. But yeah, I'm not too sure on that contour shade. It's quite nice. Like, it looks a nice colour, even for like my skin tone. I really struggle with contour shades, so It looks quite nice and it blended out quite nicely, but I definitely want to try it with another brush and just make sure that it's not like heavily pigmented and easy to go like muddy. So I'll definitely have to try it again and let you guys know, but so far so good, to be honest. So now onto blush, and I've actually used this blusher before. So this is Love's Hue. This is very pigmented and quite hard to blend out if you go in with too much product. However, if you go in with not a lot of product and just build up gradually, it can look really, really nice. The blusher has a really nice sheen to it, but yeah, you just have to be kind of careful with it. This is the only shade throughout the whole palette that I've actually used before. So as you can see, I went in with just a tiny bit of product, and it's just added a little bit of a sheen to my cheek. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more product, really tap off the excess. And yeah, I just feel like it looks quite pretty. Like, it's got the nice sheen to it. It's a lovely colour. It's like a I don't know what you'd explain that as, like a corally kind of colour. It really is lovely, and I feel like it looks really nice, and I feel like it would flatter a lot of skin tones. Oh my god, I forgot to reverse contour. I'm going to quickly do that and then I'll do the other cheek. I feel like the longer and longer I go on in the video, I just get further and further down. I have to constantly like look at the camera and make sure I'm not like all the way down here doing my makeup like a little gremlin. Oh god, that's a lot of product. This blush, I actually really like it. Like, if you've seen my full face of first impressions, when I first put it on I hated it, but then when I did the other cheek and I was really careful, I really like it. Like, I really liked the shade, the colour, the way it looked, how it added like a little sheen to my cheeks and just made me look nice and healthy. I really liked it. It's just like, it scares me a little bit because I know how easy it is to go overboard. So there, I feel like I found a way to master that blush, and I really genuinely like it. Like, I know it's going to sound like such a contrast from my first impressions, but obviously our first impressions is just your first impressions. Like, you haven't had a chance to proper play with the product and find a way to use it what's best for you. So yeah, genuinely I really do like that blush, only when you use a very light hand. I cannot stress that enough. So now I'm going to go in with the highlight, which is called Pure Glow. I'm not going to lie, in the pan this looks very, not dull but not beaming, do you know what I mean? I really do like a very strong like beaming highlight, so hopefully it's quite a strong highlight. But even if it's not, even if it is just like a subtle highlight, then I could very easily use it on an everyday basis. So I'm gonna pop, oh, it seems quite powdery, I'm not gonna lie. I don't usually get that with this brush, so. Oh, that seems really pretty. I don't know how that's coming across on camera. Oh, it looks lovely. It is very powdery, and it's definitely not as beaming as other highlights I own, but it is very pretty. I'm just gonna pick up some of this extra product that's powdered off. Yeah, it's definitely not the most beaming highlight I have, but I kind of had a feeling it was gonna be like that because of how it looks in the pan. It's not super reflective, but it's still pretty, and I definitely don't have a highlight like this. I'm glad to have it in my collection, because I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna sound crazy because highlight is like one of my favorite parts of my makeup routine, but some days like I just don't want a strong highlight, and now I have a not so strong highlight. It still looks beautiful though, like it looks lovely on the skin. I am just gonna build it up just a tad, put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Yeah, it's definitely a very subtle highlight, but it's still beautiful. Like, I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. I am actually kind of glad that I have this in my collection. I'm not even gonna lie. The only thing, let me just put that brush back. The only thing I don't like about it is how powdery it is. Like, there's a lot of powder on the actual palette itself, so I feel like it's gonna like not waste, but it's gonna go quite quickly, which obviously isn't exactly what you want. Do you know what I mean? The only thing is, I feel like it didn't blend into that blush too nicely, so I'm just gonna go ahead and no extra product, no extra blush at all, and I'm just gonna kind of try and blend that in a tad. Okie dokie, and then even though I don't want to dull it down too much, I'm just gonna pat over the top. Not because I want to dull it down anymore, just because I just want it to blend in a tad bit more. I'm really happy with how this look has turned out. It looks beautiful so far. I really like the eyeshadow. I'm quite happy with that bronzer too. It's not a bronzer, it's a contour. I need to remember that that is a contour. The only thing I'm not too keen on is how it's looking on my forehead, just because I'm used to it being a little bit more intense. Just wipe off this bake. I feel like this lighting has kind of gone to shit, to be honest. But anyway, this is basically the finished look concerning the palette. So I'm just going to very quickly go off camera. I'm just going to finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back and we shall have just a tiny little chat about the palette, what I like about it, what I maybe don't like about it, and how I feel. So I'm just going to quickly do the rest of my makeup and then I'll be straight back. Okay, so I'm back and this is basically the finished look. Love this lip I have going on. Not necessarily with these eyes, but nonetheless, I'm definitely going to be doing this lip a little bit more. Anyway, massive tangent again. So this is basically the end look, and the Maxi palette, that's what I'm going to call it, basically. The Maxi palette, I'm not mad at. I really quite like it. I love that it's a cardboard packaging. Honestly, it's a travel friendly palette. It's really lightweight, so the cardboard makes it a lot more lightweight, and there's no need for like hard plastic packaging. Like there's no need, especially for a cheaper palette. Like I understand if you're gonna buy a more expensive palette, you expect it to feel a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more expensive. I haven't got my septum down. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I understand that you expect it to feel a little bit more expensive, but with a cheaper palette, there's literally no need. Like, there's actually no need. The mirror, I actually haven't mentioned the mirror. If I just try, that's me. Hi. Yeah, the mirror is quite a nice size. You can easily do a full face of makeup in there. I have today, so yeah, the mirror is quite nice. The shades in the eyeshadow palette. So obviously, these are your eyeshadow shades here. They're really quite nice, and to be fair, I quite like palettes like this where you have the face and the eyes, because you could easily use these face pans to do your eyeshadow also. So yeah, but the actual eyeshadow shades, I feel like they're really nice. Definitely an easy everyday eyeshadow kind of palette. I definitely want to use it more, I'm not going to lie. I actually quite like it. I feel like I might pick this out to do my makeup in the morning, maybe a few times next week or something, just to see what kind of looks I can get out of it in a rush. But yeah, it's really nice. It obviously has a pale shade, not necessarily a white shade. Is that white? It's like her egg white shade, and then you have your black shade here, which looks very pigmented, I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have used that today. And then you've got your cool tone shades, but there's also a warm tone shade in there. Beautiful shimmers. Genuinely, the eyeshadows I'm really quite happy with. I love the mattes. I always have loved Revolution matte eyeshadows though, to be honest. The shimmers, I really do like the shimmer that I used today. I really like it. It just took a little bit of building, which personally I prefer to just chuck it on, but nevertheless it still turned out beautiful, so I actually quite like it. And then onto the face pans. So the contour shade, the Grand Tan, I really like it. I don't know whether it'd work for all skin types, just because I'm super pale, so if I can get it to work for me, I'm not sure how well it would work for people of like a darker skin tone, even just a tanned or medium skin tone. I'm really not sure it would work that well. However, maybe you could build it up quite a lot. Obviously, I'm not going to build it up personally, because that would just be a waste of time. I would just ruin my makeup. There would literally be no point in that. But it didn't go on muddy. It blended out beautifully. I really didn't have to work hard at all. So I'm quite happy with it. I could see myself, if I wanted to contour, I could see myself pulling that out constantly. Do you know what I mean? But to be fair, I don't contour, so realistically, will I use it a lot? Probably not. But if I am going to contour, that is a shade I would definitely think, that shade was really easy to use. So definitely a good contour shade. The blusher, it's called Love's Hue. So sorry, I just probably should show you. So obviously this is your contour, and then this is the blush. So the blush is called Love's Hue, and I really like it. It is scary, I'm not gonna lie. If you go in with a heavy hand and put a lot of product on, it is gonna be very hard to blend out, I'm not going to lie. But if you go in with a really light hand and just build it up gradually, it looks beautiful. I love how it looks on my skin right now. I feel like it really suits my skin tone. I love the colour of it. It's like a really nice, like kind of pinky coral shade. I love it. It is beautiful. I could see myself using that blush all the time, and I'm definitely turning more into a blusher girl than a bronzer girl, I'm not gonna lie. I really need to do a updated everyday makeup routine because you guys would be shocked, honestly. And then onto the highlight, which is called Pure Glow. So that's this one here. I like it. It's quite powdery in the pan, however when you put it on your skin it's very nice. It's not dry or anything like that, but I do feel like you would not waste the product, but you're gonna get through the product quicker just because it's powdery. It's not the most blinding highlight I've ever used in my life. Like, I think that you can see that it's quite a glow from within, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have a highlight like this in my collection, which is like more subtle, so I'm really glad that I have it. Like, am I going to use it all the time? No, probably not, but if I do want a highlight that is a little bit more subtle, just for a little like everyday kind of moment, like if I'm using a BB cream or something and I just want to add like a little bit of glow, I could see myself reaching for that. I genuinely could. Is this going to be my favourite go-to palette? No, I don't think it would be my favourite go-to. Will I use it? Yes, I definitely will. One thing I love about it is the fact that it's magnetic and doesn't have a clasp. I love that. I hate when you can't get into an eyeshadow palette because of the clasp. The amount of times, like, my nails, like, granted, they look disgusting now, but my nails are always chipping from opening up packaging and stuff like that. So I really appreciate the fact that it's magnetic. Love that it's cardboard. I absolutely love that it's cardboard. And I feel like the look of the palette is really nice. Honestly, this palette got me excited, and I haven't felt excited about a palette in a while. So yeah, I'm really glad that it like relit my fire in makeup, you know. So yeah, that is basically everything, to be honest. I don't really think that there's anything left to say. If you do have any questions about the palette, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you want me to use it again and do like a different look, let me know as well, and I'll be happy to do that. But this is basically the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending some time with me today. Hopefully this video is not too long. I've tried my best to keep it short because I know that my full face of first impressions was such a long video. Like, if you have any video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'm going to quickly jump off and stop rambling because Aurora is actually still asleep. So I need to hurry up and get some stuff done before she gets up. Let me know if you like this look that I created today, and let me know your opinions on the palette if you've used it yourself. Don't forget to like this video if you did enjoy. Leave me a nice comment down below, and I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe if you like my content. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.